If you are someone looking to build your career in investment banking, then you are at the right video. In this video, we are going to discuss how you can enter into investment banking without a top business school MBA, and how you can use a three-step simple strategy to start your career into investment banking. So let's get into the screen and discuss about the entire process. So in this video, we are going to understand about how I got into investment banking without a MBA by my real story, how I applied a strategy, a three-step simple strategy which you can also apply and get started into investment banking, and that too everything without a MBA from top business school. So let's get started. So as we move ahead, you guys might be having a question in your mind. Is it possible to start into investment banking without an MBA degree? The answer to this question is yes. So we are going to understand why this is possible and how I came to know that this can be done. So before we move on to strategy of how you can enter into investment banking by following a three-step process, let me give you a brief about my journey of how I entered into investment banking and about my background. So talking about my background, I was born and brought up in a family where both of my parents, my mom and my dad, used to trade into equity markets. So from the start, I was exposed to financial markets. What are stocks? What is bond? What is index? And all the concepts that are related to financial market was something that I had grown up with. So that's where I developed curiosity about capital markets as well. How is a stock getting listed in the market? What is the business underlying for a particular stock? What is its value? And I started getting more of these kind of questions and developed a more detailed curiosity about capital markets. But I wanted to go more deeper than just trading into capital market. I wanted to go into detail about the financial market world. So that's where I decided exploring various career options that would help me start my career into finance. Then I started researching about what are the various career paths that one can make into the field of finance, and I got to know that there are various paths like investment banking, venture capital, private equity, equity research, management consulting, strategy, and so much more, which give you exposure to core finance as a industry. So like everybody does, I also started to research about all these industries on Google and found that investment banking was something closest to financial market, because investment bankers are someone who are continuously doing IPOs in the financial market. So that's where I also connected of my question about how stocks to get listed on in financial markets. They do M&A, where it will help me understand how businesses work and how they are acquiring and merging with one another to expand into this industry. Once I got to know that investment banking was something which was the closest to financial market, I then started doing research about how one can enter into investment banking. So like everybody does, I also started googling how you can enter into investment banking, and most of the time I got answer that you need a MBA, you need to be from top business school, you need to have a very good network. But that was something that I was always lacking in my profile. So I did not have a big degree in my profile. I did a bachelor in commerce majoring in accounting and finance from a Mumbai University college, and I had a CFA level 2 with me. I had done my CFP, but there was no big degree that I had in my profile. So that's where I had a question like, will it be possible for me to enter into investment banking without having a MBA in my profile? Then I started doing research on LinkedIn, which is one of the most important platform for any professional to start their career. So while I was doing LinkedIn research, I started to search about investment banking companies on LinkedIn, and going through their people's section, I started to see profile of various investment bankers. And that's where I saw that there are a lot of people who have top business school MBAs, but there are some who were into investment banking without an IIM degree or ISB degree or top business school MBA in their profile. So that made me realize that background is not a barrier for entering into this industries. Because these people have entered, I can also start to apply for jobs and get started into this industry. So that's where I decided that I will find my own way in into this industry without doing MBA further. So next came the biggest learning phase of my life, where I faced so many rejections from all the companies in this industry and did not get any single job. There were two main reasons why I was going through this entire phase of rejection. First is reaching out to people on their email through cold reach outs and just sharing my resume with them and asking for a job. So this was the first one where I used to keep on emailing people in this industry, HR of investment banking companies, and trying to share my resume with them and ask if there is any opening in this industry. And most of the time I got no response from them because they used to get hundreds and thousands of email from candidates similar to me and asking about a job. Second element of rejection over here was applying for job through job application on the company's career portal. So all the investment banking companies have a careers portal on which they post openings whenever they have one. So most of the time there are thousands and thousands of applicants who are already applying for these kind of jobs. And if you are applying for this, you are facing against top candidates who are already from IIM, ISB, IITs and other top business schools in India and from outside as well. So investment banking is an industry where there is huge supply of candidates for one particular job, but the demand is very low. So standing out among these kind of competitors becomes very difficult for you if you are a non MBA candidate and do not have any tag in your profile, because whenever you submit your CV to this kind of job application portal, it will get screened in the first round where they see that you are not an MBA candidate and don't have a relevant college degree name in your profile. So after going through these learning phase, I had a question in my mind. How did then those investment bankers enter into investment banking without having an MBA? The simple answer over here was to ask them. So here I decided to reach out those investment banking professionals and ask them what does an investment banking do, and get to know about the roles and responsibilities of an investment banker so that I can prepare for those and then apply for interviews. What are the skills that I will need to develop before I enter into investment banking? So when there are a lot of competitors who are applying for these kind of job, I am able to stand out and be the best and amongst everyone. And how are interviews conducted in an investment bank? So these are some of the brief questions that I had with me whenever I used to reach out to these professionals. Now, the first step over here, if you are starting your career in investment banking, is to reach out to professionals on LinkedIn and seek informational interviews from them. So step one becomes asking for informational interviews. Now to reach out to investment banking professionals and seek out informational interviews, you have to follow a step-by-step process. The first thing that you need to do when you are reaching out for informational interviews is first search out about the company's profile page on LinkedIn and go to their people's section. The people section over here will show you all the people working in this particular company, and since we have searched for Kotak investment banking, we will see all the professionals who are over here. Once you see the entire list, you have to then reach out to these people. Don't reach out to anyone, since your target is people who are into investment banking but have not done their MBA. So you go to their profiles and see about their educational qualification. You will find quite a few people who are working in investment banking without an MBA degree. So start reaching out to them. Make sure that when you are reaching out to investment bankers, don't expect the ratios to be greater than this following numbers. So let's assume that you reach out to 100 investment banking professionals. The first hurdle that you will face is that connection acceptance request will be only accepted by 10% of people. So out of these 100, you are now left with 10 connections in your profile. The next hurdle you will face is that out of this 100, 10 have been connected and only 3%, that is 3 people, will be having a conversation with you that over LinkedIn. That is hi, hello, and you, once you reach out, you mention to them that it was great connecting. They would say hi, hello, great connecting, something like that, and the conversation stops. The conversion ratio for having a conversation will be maximum 1%. That is what you will have to keep in mind when you are reaching out to people on LinkedIn, and not expect a lot of people who will be willing to talk to you, right? So out of this 100, only one will be ready to have a conversation with you. So the step one becomes reaching out to a lot of people through various companies profile page and going through their people section and reaching out for connection request. Once these people have accepted your connection request, you have to then send out initial LinkedIn message to them. where you are going to reach out with the following message. Let's assume the name Karan. Hi Karan, I am currently exploring a career in investment banking and came across your profile. Given your experience, I'd love to learn more about the industry and day-to-day responsibility of an investment banker. Would you be open to a quick 15-20 minute call sometime this week or next? I have few specific questions to and your insight would really help me understand the role better. Thanks in advance and looking forward to hearing from you. Warm regards, your name. So this is how you frame your first message when you are reaching out to someone on LinkedIn, where you are setting clear expectation of why you are reaching out to them. So you have mentioned in the initial line that you are currently exploring career in investment banking. So that is giving them an understanding that you are also looking out to build your career in investment banking and that you came across their profile. Given their experience, you want to learn about two specific things, that is about the industry and about the day-to-day roles and responsibility of an investment banker. So you made your point clear that what you are looking out for and what you want to learn from them. Next is that you mentioned about what you want, right? So you want to have a 15-20 minute call with them this or next week, right? And you have a specific questions that are with you and their insight on them would help you understand the role better. So that is what you have set over here. You have set the expectations of what you want from them. You want to go on a call with them this week or next. So once they reply to this, you can then decide on when they want to have a call. So you then thanked in advance and you mentioned that you are looking forward to hear from them. Now this is the message that you will be sending out to 10 connection requests that you got. Now out of this 10, not everyone will be replying to you. So the main thing that you have to do is following up, because most of the professionals are quite busy and caught up in the work. You have to be on your toes and reach out to them with subtle messages, not pinging them again and again and telling them for the call, but in a subtle way you can have a follow-up message after 2 to 3 days. Don't rush into it that you want to get on a call the next day. Give them time, give them space, because they are quite busy. So after 2 to 3 days of time, you then follow up with this particular message. Hi Karan, just wanted to follow up on my earlier message. I understand you might be quite busy, but if you are be open to a quick call, I truly appreciate the chance to learn from your experience in this field. Thanks once again for considering. Looking forward to hearing from you. So a simple follow-up message where you are just reaching out to them about a response on earlier message and saying that you understand that they are quite busy and just wanted to get on a call and learn from their experience. So perfect message that you are giving them space, you understand that they are quite busy, and you have put your expectation once again that you want to have a quick word with them and learn from their experience. So after this follow-up message, give them once again 2 to 3 days of time, and finally if they don't reply, you just once again send out this particular message and see if they are open to have conversation with you. If this doesn't work, then go on to a different professional and then reach out to them and keep your cycle ready. Keep in mind that you have to be prompt on your reply to these professionals, because they have spared out time for you, and then you need to be on your toes to reply to them and finally have conversation with them. So while I was starting out to reach people on LinkedIn and reaching out to them with such initial message and follow-up messages, I got to have conversation with around 12 to 15 people, and the advice I got from them is that you just don't learn skills, you show them. So what does this mean? Learning skills is that you do a course or some kind of you watch a video on YouTube and you learn the skill, but the main thing is you apply them and you build your entire portfolio around those skills. So that is the most important thing. So the main lesson over here was learn, build and showcase. So that's what I did. I learned the skills that they mentioned me to, then I worked on building projects for them, and I showcased these projects to the mentors that I had from this particular industry. So following the advice that I got from them, here's what I worked on and got to know about what is the main thing that you will be doing in investment banking. So once you enter into investment banking, there 80% of your time will be utilized in these three things. Number one is industry research, where you are creating research papers for but various industries in the market, be it technology, being healthcare, be it media, entertainment, and all the industries that are available in the market. Then your next time will be spent on financial modeling, where you are doing valuation using various models like DCF, comps, then transaction, and all the other methodologies that are available, and you create valuation for your clients. This is the most important skill that you can learn for entering into investment banking. And finally, the third element is presentation making, where you are creating presentations about what you have worked on model and explaining the business model of the company in very simple and crisp format to pitch it to your investors. So from the advice that I got, I started to work out on an industry research, where I worked on skin and hair care research industry and created a detailed research paper of competitors in this industry. Then I created a financial model for Tata Steel company, where I did understand about the steel industry as an whole and created a projection, 5 year projection for Tata Steel, along with its valuation using various valuation methodology. I did this through a course, and I built my entire project around it. And finally, presentation making, here I created a simple presentation where I explained all the financial data in simple charts and graph format, which helped me explain what I was working on. So here's the screenshot of what I worked when I was starting to reach out for my applications of investment banking industry. So here's the financial model project, and this is the industry research paper that I worked on. If you guys want to explore these projects, then there is a link in description where you can get this from. So after your step one, where you have had conversation with the investment banking professionals with the informational interview, where you ask them what are the skills, what are the roles and responsibility, how is the interview process, you then moved to second step, which was creating projects around investment banking industry, which will then help you build your portfolio of projects which you can showcase during your reach outs to these mentors. So with these projects, you have now become ready for investment banking as an industry. And now we move on to the final step three, reaching out to your mentors with proof. Now that you have worked on investment banking skills and created projects around it, you can share these projects with your mentors and ask them if they would be happy to provide you feedback on the same and provide you points of improvement and what you can additionally work on. So this helps you create more deeper relationship with your mentor, and they build more confidence in you that you are someone who is ready to put in efforts and can work in this industry. So that's where you start reaching out to your mentors, ask them for feedback and points of improvement. So in my case, since I had 12 to 15 mentors with me, after I worked on these projects, I submitted all of my project to them, and I got 4 job referrals. Point to be noted that this 4 job referrals was not in a one go. I had given them time to go through the projects, to understand them, ask questions to me of what I had done and what I had not, how did I learn, and then only after going through that, I got 4 referrals from them. Now from these 4 referrals, I was able to attend 2 interviews. One was in a KPO which worked for investment banking, and the second one was a boutique investment banking firm which did cater to startups and early stage growth companies. And I then found an analyst role at Kairos 3 Advisors, which was this boutique investment banking firm. So once I got a referral for the analyst position at Kairos 3 Advisors, then came the interview process, where I had 2 interview rounds with them. One was over a call, where I had to introduce myself, what was my background, what was my education, how did I pursue my projects, and what are the projects that I did. And second was a physical interview at the company, which was more over very technical round, where they tested my financial knowledge, about my understanding of valuation, how to value a company, what are the methods, and all the technical knowledge that one needs to have to enter into investment banking. So these were 2 rounds of interview that I had to go through. And finally, after the interview, I was given a case study to be solved, which involved creating a valuation model and presenting it in a presentation format. So this way, by following a 3 step process, where first you are asking for informational interview to the investment banking professionals, then second step, you are creating projects and showcasing your skill set And finally, you are asking for step 3, that is a referral of any job interviews that they could provide you. If you want to understand about how was my interview process and all the questions that are needed for investment banking industry, do let me know in the comments and we will create a detailed video around it. If you find this video valuable, do like this video, and if you are new to this channel, do subscribe to it. Until then, this is Karan Damania taking your leave.